Welcome to the Karuna Trees YouTube channel. My name is Veda Spidle, and today I am live streaming from the onebreathconnected.com filming studio and super excited to be here. Today's class, we will focus on energetic grounding. And I recommend having your mat, 2 blocks, and about 1 to 2 blankets. If you have been practicing for a while and you know that you need other props, make sure that you have those ready and nearby for the class. And we will start laying down. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. And so when you do lay down, you might choose to put some support underneath your head. Make sure you have any props that you might need for when you're laying down nearby and within reach. You might choose to put some support underneath the knees, maybe underneath the head. And let the legs rest. Let the feet flop open away from each other. The arms by your sides, palms up. Making any other adjustments so you're as comfortable as possible, and then close your eyes. And if you don't want to close your eyes right now, just take a soft gaze. And we begin by becoming aware of the space that we're in. Aware of the room that you're in. And taking note that if there are any distractions that are either currently happening or any that might show up during the practice, that they only give you the opportunity to dive in deeper. Every distraction gives you the chance to refocus on your breath. Settle into your body. Relax around the eyes, the jaw. Relax the abdomen. And feel the earth holding you, supporting you, so you can relax in the way that you're holding yourself. And feel yourself breathing. Breathing in and out of the nose. And every inhale, the belly expands, the navel floats up towards the ceiling. Every exhale, the navel drops down. The inhale, belly expands, navel floats up. And the exhale, belly drops. And if it's comfortable for you, expand the breath, deepen the breath. The inhale builds into the abdomen, the ribs, the chest. And the exhale relaxes the chest, the ribs, the belly. Relax even more. And if it's comfortable for you, you can place one hand at the lower abdomen below the navel, one hand on heart center. And I invite you to join me in 3 soft ohms. Let's first inhale together. Let it go. And inhale. Relax the arms by your sides, palms facing up. Take another 2 to 3 full conscious breaths here. Feel yourself breathing. Being aware of the breath, having our attention on the breath helps to bring us into the present. It can also help to ground us, which is our focus today. Now, if you'd like to remain like this, if this is what you need, stay as you are. If you're ready to bring in movement, your eyes can stay closed for as long as you wish. Begin to wiggle the toes and the fingers. Point and flex the feet, open and close the hands as if you're squeezing sponges. And then create fists with the hands, draw circles with the fists, continue to point and flex the feet, maybe draw circles with the big toes. Reverse direction of hands and feet, reversing the direction of the circles you're drawing. And then release the arms, the legs, let them relax, rock the head side to side. Come back to center, take a full body stretch. Interlace the fingers, roll the palms open away from the top of the head. Point through the toes, take a breath, maybe a sigh or a yawn. And then bend the knees, feet to the floor for windshield wipers. Arms can go by your sides, palms up, letter T, palms up if you have the space, or cactus arms with the palms up. And then let the legs fall side to side. Continue this movement, but the next time the legs come through center, heel toe the feet in closer together, and again, legs go side to side. And maybe match the breath to movement. When the legs come through center, it's an inhale. When they go to the side, it's an exhale. And come back to center. Draw both knees into the chest if that's available to you. If it's not, just keep the feet on the floor, knees bent. Take a full breath here. And then rock side to side. Return to center. Float the forehead up towards the knees. If it doesn't feel good on the neck, please don't do it. Otherwise, hold here. Take a full breath. And full body stretch. Slide the legs long, reach the arms up overhead. This time, press out through the heels, pull back on the toes. Another breath. And draw the right knee into the chest. Let the other leg be completely relaxed. If it doesn't feel good on your back, bend the left knee, place the left foot to the floor. Bring your attention to the right foot, point and flex the foot, draw circles with it, bigger than when you first did this. And then draw circles with the right knee. You can use the right hand to help guide the knee, drawing those circles around the hip. And reverse direction. Now you don't have to use your hand. You can release both hands and simply guide the knee around the hip. It's up to you and your body. And then draw the knee into the chest, squeeze it in. You can float the forehead up again to meet the knee. Take a full breath. And full body stretch. Maybe having the other pointer finger lead the way for interlacing the fingers. Roll the palms open again. Another breath. And draw the left knee into the chest using both hands, one hand or no hands. Relax the other leg if the leg is stretched out. Point and flex the left foot. Draw circles with it. Reverse direction. And then draw circles with the left knee. Guide the knee around the hip. And reverse. Squeeze the knee into the chest. Maybe float the forehead up towards the knee. Enjoy a full breath here. Full body stretch this time. If you don't want to interlace the fingers, you can have the arms separate, the palms facing each other, point through the toes, reach out through the fingertips. Another breath. Then bend the knees, draw them into the chest. Now you can remain like this, Or draw the soles of the feet together, hold at the base of the shins, draw the feet in towards you as the knees press away. It's a variation of bound angle, laying on our back, drawing the feet in towards the body, making sure that you work with your safety stops, you work with your edges. You can remain still or rock side to side, holding this shape. Another breath. And draw the knees into the chest and draw circles with the knees. And today I invite you to have the knees go in the same direction. And then reverse. Return to center, float the forehead up towards the knees, take a full breath. And once more, a full body stretch. Your choice for arms and toes, whichever direction you want them to point in. Another breath. And then slowly release the arms by your sides, palms facing up. And take a moment here, completely relax your body. Let what we just did integrate, fully present. Feeling the ground holding you. If you need to stay here longer, you can stay. Otherwise, we bend the knees, feet to the floor, and then roll onto your comfortable side into the fetal position. Take care to support your head. Deepen the breath here. And if and when you feel ready, press yourself up through your side and set up for table. And I recommend here, if you're using your props, that you preset your blocks at the front two corners of the mat, either on the mat or on the floor in front of you. And then also grabbing maybe a blanket, for the knees. Another blanket can stay behind in case. So land the shoulders over the wrist, pointer fingers point forward, the knuckles of the pointer fingers press down, hips are over the knees. And take a moment here to just do some organic movement. Again, feel yourself in your body, feel the hips moving. And then come into table. Neutral spine. Toes are untucked right now. Inhale, scoop the tailbone up, drop the belly, lift the heart, the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tailbone round the spine, chin to chest. Continue these cat-cows moving from the tailbone. So this way we use our entire spine. Our entire spine is involved in this movement. We feel that movement originate from the tailbone area. Now we add in another movement here. Inhale, tailbone up, heart forward and lifted. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, hips towards heels as far as available. Inhale, glide forward into cow. Exhale, round and press back. Try to keep the legs parallel for now, about 2 more. And next time that you come up, return to table, neutral spine. Tuck the toes under. Again, inhale into cow. Exhale, cat. Keep the rounding and press your hips to heels. So now the toes are tucked under. If that's available to you, press the mat away from you and maybe align the ears to the arms. Keep pressing the mat away. Feel the sensations in the feet. And remember to always give yourself permission if you need to readjust. Another breath. Inhale, float up to table. Let the breath go. Untuck the toes. And then bring the legs in towards each other for your hip release. Widen your hands and rock the hips side to side. Keep the hands and the knees connected to the floor. Elbows can bend if needed. About twice more to each side. The inhale through center. The exhale to the side. I often find that I need to slow down myself here. So just check in with your pace, your speed. We want the breath and movement to be connected. When that feels complete, return to center spine and then child's pose. Two options here I'll show you. You can sit back to the heels, keeping the legs connected, and then arms by your sides, palms up, forehead to the floor or a block. Another option is big toes touching, knees go wide, sit back to the heels, arms out in front of you, forehead to the floor or a block. We'll stay here for a few breaths. If at any point you see me not doing fully the position or pose I'm teaching, is just so I'm able to continue to speak and share without a high volume into the mic. Feel yourself breathing, maybe a sigh here. If you need to stay here longer, please do. Otherwise, press yourself up to table. Let the breath go as you readjust. Now, your toes can be tucked under or not. It's up to you. Float the right knee out to the side and draw circles with the right knee. Remember, the size of the circles are up to you and your body. Bring your attention to the feeling in the hips with this movement. Just being aware. And then extend the legs straight out behind you. Keep it lifted, toes point down, level the hips. A gentle back bend here. Lift the heart, gently lift the gaze without crunching the neck. Reach out through the heel, out through the crown of the head. Exhale, knee to nose. Two more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bring it in. One more. Inhale to length, exhale, release, and return to table. Now we do the other side. Left knee floats up, draw circles with the left knee. One side might feel different than the other, that's okay. Reverse direction. And then extend the legs straight out behind you. Keep it off the ground. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee towards nose. Two more. Inhale to length. Exhale, release, table. From here, child's pose or cat-cows. And breathe. Relax the jaw. Relax the muscles at the hips. Another breath here. And the hands press into the floor. Bring yourself up to table. If you're not already there, let the breath go. And then grab your blocks if you're using them. We set up for lunge, wrists relatively under shoulders. Tuck the toes under for stability support. Step the right leg through between the hands. Now before you lift the back knee up, check that your front knee is over the ankle, the hips are squared forward. Drop the tailbone, lengthen the spine. When that feels complete, lift the back knee off the floor, extend out through the rear heel and out through the crown of the head. Keep the breath moving. So we have an active pressing here down through the front foot, extension through the rear heel, and out through the top of the head. Feel those energy lines. Feel the connection from the ground up and out. And if you want to move, inhale. Exhale, straighten the front leg and maybe fold. Inhale, front knee bends, lengthen the spine. Exhale, straighten and fold. Two more. The next time that the front knee bends, keep it bent. Slowly lower the back knee to the floor for prāṇāyāma, low lunge. You're above the kneecap. Your choice to keep the back toes tucked under or not. See which one feels better on the knees. You might choose to stay here, or you can bring the blocks up on a higher setting. Now the muscles of the legs are hugging to the bone. You have the connection of the foot pressing down into the floor, the back toes or the top of the back foot pressing down. Lift the heart, lengthen through the crown of the head. If you want to go further, as you keep that engagement, the hips are dipping down. Hands can go to the top of the front thigh or maybe up towards the sky. Check in with the quality of your breath. Feel the connection to the earth. Feel as if the breath is rising up from the ground. And as you exhale, the breath descends, goes all the way down. Slowly release the hands. Make sure your hands feel stable. Return to table. And then extend the right leg straight behind you. If you had blocks, you might want to move them off for now for safety. Inhale here, leg pushbacks. Exhale, press the mat away, stretching into the extended leg. The right leg straight out behind you. 2 more. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, push the mat away. 1 more. When that feels complete, return the shoulders over the wrists. Knees come underneath the hips. Take a breath here. Feel the connection to the earth. Now we build lunge on the other side. Grab your blocks if you're using them, and whichever you're choosing, whether you're using blocks or not, make sure your hands are at the same height to the best of your ability. And then step the left leg through. The hips are squared, front knee is over its ankle. Lengthen the spine. And check in with the tailbone. You might need to drop the tailbone, and then the back knee comes up, extend out through the back heel and through the crown of the head. So we feel the hands either connected to the earth through the support, or your hands might be on the ground already. Feeling the connection of the front foot pressing into the earth, and then the lines of energy extending out through the heel and through the top of the head. If you had movement on the other side, bring it in here. Inhale. Exhale, straighten the front leg and maybe fold. A few more. And the front knee bends. Slowly lower the back knee to the floor for prāṇāyāma. Adjust yourself, trying to match what you did on the other side if that's available. And then as the muscles remain engaged, simultaneously the hips begin to dip down. Front knee is allowed to pass the front ankle, but keep the front heel glued, connected to the floor. Lift the heart. Going into the full expression, and that expression is whatever it looks like for you today. Make sure that it feels safe and that you can breathe in the pose that you feel as possible. Feeling the breath build from the base up. Release the breath from the top down. 1 more breath here. Hands release, hands to the floor, return to table, and then leg pushbacks, left leg goes straight out behind you. Neutral spine, inhale. Exhale, press the mat away. 2 more. When that's complete, return to table, take a full breath here. Feel all the parts of the body connected to the earth. And either remain in table, you can do cat-cows, you can go through your vinyasa flow if that's in your practice, or child's pose. Whichever you're choosing, feel yourself breathing. As you breathe, the muscles of the face are relaxed. Another moment here. And bring yourself up to table. Let the breath go. Grab your blocks if you're using them. Tuck the toes under. Step the right leg through between the hands. Check in with your alignment for lunge. When you're ready, back knee lifts up. And then drop the back heel in and down. The base looks like the same base that we build for side angle or warrior two. Front knee stays pointing forward, it's over its ankle. Front heel intersects the center of the back arch. Now your right hand can stay on the block, or the right forearm can come to the right thigh, left hand to the left hip. And as you open up, scoop the right buttock under. Make sure the front knee stays over its ankle, actively pressing down through both feet, and really feel the pressing down through the outer edge of the back foot. From those press points, extend out through the crown of the head. Maybe lift the top arm, extend up through the fingertips. Feel yourself working from the ground up. Feel the steady foundation beneath you. Present with the breath. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly unwind, return to lunge, and then straighten the front leg, lengthen the spine, stay here. Keep breathing. With your next exhale, rebend the front knee. And now take your right hand. If you're using a block, the block goes with you. Bring both hands now to the inside of the front leg. If you need support here for yourself, you can always lower the back knee down, make that transition. Now, if you want to do some strength building here, stay like this. All right, back knee is lifted, both hands on the inside. If you want to feel a little bit more of a stretch, back knee can come down. You can lower down onto the forearms. If you need to walk your right foot out to the side an inch or two, make sure you do that. Accommodate your body. Whichever variation you choose for the arms, that they're at the same height, and the right leg is hugging in towards the body. So if it's not touching, that's okay. You have the action of it hugging in, and then you can return to strength building. The back knee lifts up, or the back knee stays down above the kneecap. And we're here for good, generous 8 to 10 breaths. Right, so if the mind immediately responded or reacted to that, tune back into your breath. So we're working primarily with the lower body, the legs, the hips, that's associated energetically to that sensation, to the energetics of being grounded, connected energetically to the earth. That can also help to bring balance if you feel that you've been if you've been really in the head, if you've been thinking a lot, if you need to just settle, working with the hips can help. You have about 2 more breaths. And when you're ready, back knee touches down if it's lifted. Bring yourself up. And then return to table. You can do cat-cows, you can do your vinyasa flow, you can do child's pose. Take a few moments in transition. I'm spinning around for the camera. You don't have to turn around if you don't want to. About 2 more breaths in your transition, tuning into what you need. What movements or stillness does your body need to help keep yourself in balance? Other side. Grab your blocks if you're using them. From table, step your left leg through between the hands. Check in with your alignment, lengthen the spine. Float the back knee up, extend out through the rear heel, and then drop the back foot in and down. Check in with the lines here. And then try to build the same variation for side angle as you built on the other side. And once you've gone to your expression of this pose today, breathe there. Feel the rooting of the feet. The breath rising from the earth. The breath descending back down. One more. Slowly unwind. Straighten the front leg, lengthen the spine. Breathe. And return to lunge, making it into the same pose we did on the other side. Remember, the back knee can touch down if needed. Readjust the left foot if needed. Both hands are on the inside of the front leg. You might not be able to go into the same expression on this side as you did on the other, and that's okay. Once you've found your edge, remain there and breathe, and give yourself permission to reset at any time. Relax the jaw, relax the muscles of the face, taking care to not over effort. So while we're working with grounding, feeling the engagement of the muscles, feeling ourselves connected to the earth, we don't want to over effort. We don't want it to become harsh. We're taking care to soften around any of those harsh edges. Relax any unnecessary gripping. But still hold the pose. About another breath. And slowly bring yourself up and into table. Take your time in this transition. I'm spinning around again for the camera. We'll meet in child's pose. Make your way there slowly, taking any stretches that you need along the way. Few more moments. Take your time, press up through table, and then come onto your seat for a wide-legged seated forward fold. You might choose to sit on your folded blanket or a pillow. If you are not in the place right now with your body where the hips can open like this, that's okay. Stretch the legs straight out in front of you instead. And if you're sitting high enough where the back of the knees are pretty far off the ground, you might choose to put blankets or blocks underneath the knees to prevent hyperextension. So checking in with where you're at and honoring that. Meet yourself where you're at. Once you've come into your seat, you can use your hands to move the glutes, the muscles of the buttocks, more out from underneath the sitting bones, so you can really feel yourself energetically root through the sitting bones, and that you can physically feel yourself evenly weighted on both hips. And then have your hands behind you to start. Lengthen the spine. Point and flex the feet a few times. And then toes point up. Now, if this is enough for you, stay here. If you'd like to fold, hands can go to the hips. Actively here, feel the pelvis tilt forward. If you're not quite feeling that, if that's new for you, you might choose to sit up higher on a blanket that can help with the tilt. You might rock forward and back a few times. You know, one of the motions when we're doing cat-cows helps us to get that movement in the pelvis as well. So when you feel that the pelvis has tilted as far as available, that's where we stop. The spine follows, so we keep the spine elongated, shoulder blades drawn together. And if you tend to lead with the head, if you tend to jet the chin forward, draw it back towards the throat, enough so that you support the natural curve in the neck. Now we're going to be here again for a little bit, that generous 8 to 10 full breaths, but keep them easeful. Relax the muscles of the face. And just in tune with all the areas of the body that touch the floor. Feel that connection to the ground. Feeling the breath rise from the base up and releases from the top down. A little bit longer. See if you can settle in a little bit more. About one more full breath. And press the hands into the floor. Bring yourself up. Release the breath. And then place the hands behind the knees. Move props if you have them there. And slowly place the feet to the floor for one-legged seated windshield wipers. Feet wider than the hips. Lean back on the hands. Elevate the heart. And then drop one knee in and down at a time. And it's not about touching the knee to the floor. And it's about feeling the movement in the hip. Once more with each leg. And then extend the legs out in front of you. If you're sitting up higher, again, I recommend having some kind of support under the knees. Walk back with one hip at a time, and then rock the hip side to side so you're evenly weighted on the hips. Hands in line with the hips, fingertips point forward or the hands behind you. And then point and flex the feet. A few more. Bounce the knees. And rock the legs side to side. Good. Now before you come down, I recommend taking one of your blankets. If you're using a bolster and you're familiar with this variation with a bolster, set yourself up. If you don't have a blanket, you can use a beach towel instead. So fold your blanket from a shape that looks something like this, or long rectangle, to a long rectangle that's in half. And then place that behind you lengthwise with your other props within reach. Now you can always double this. You can put more blankets on top. You can put a pillow back there for the head. And then have your buttocks on the floor. You are not sitting on the support. Buttocks is on the floor, knees bent, and then bring yourself down. Now once you're down, readjust again to make sure that the glutes, the muscles of the buttocks, are on the ground. And the support is underneath the spine. You can roll the back edge of the blanket under for the head. Make adjustments that you need to here. And then extend the legs out. Let the heels be 6 to 12 inches apart and roll the legs in and out. Just give yourself a moment here. And then bring the legs in closer together and take a full body stretch. And from here, a few options. Option 1, feet to the floor, knees drop in towards each other. This might be where you stay. Option 2 is the soles of the feet together with the knees dropped open. In this variation, in this bound angle, I recommend that you have your blocks or some type of support underneath the outer edges of the legs, and try to have the legs resting at the same height. And option 3 is the legs stretched out, and you might just put some support underneath the knees. If there's anything else, any other restorative shape that's showing up for you and you're familiar with that's in your practice, follow that. Follow that innate prompting, that body's prompting. And once you've come into a comfortable position, we'll be here for a little bit. It's our restorative shape, just giving a chance for the body to decompress even more, to really feel the earth holding us. And allow yourself to relax into her arms, into Mother Earth's arms. Deep breath in. And let it go. Remain still. Let your attention return to the breath. And check in. If you'd like to remain in the shape that you're in, you can stay as you are. If you'd like to transition into śavāsana, our traditional restorative resting pose, or another pose for the sound healing, go ahead and adjust yourself now, taking any stretches that you need along the way. These stretches might show up as windshield wipers. You might choose to hug the knees into the chest, a full body stretch, maybe a twist to either side. Take your time. And if you're moving around, try to keep the gaze soft. Making any other adjustments that you need to so you are as comfortable as possible. Take a full breath in. Let it go. Relax the body. Surrender the weight of the body to gravity. Relax even more. Take another full breath in. And sigh to let go. And allow yourself to just be. completely held and supported by the earth. Remain still. Let your attention return to the breath first. Remaining in stillness, attention returns to the body. And see if you can feel your roots that are grown deeply into the earth. Feel yourself supported, grounded. And from that supportive place, bring back gentle movements, still keeping the eyes closed. Wiggling toes and fingers. Rocking the head side to side. Taking the stretches that you need. And notice that even with your energetic grounding, with having those roots deeply rooted, you can still move freely. Go from a place of balance. And take your time. Still keeping the eyes closed, bring yourself up to a comfortable meditative seat. And once seated, again notice that it doesn't matter if you're laying down, if you're standing or you're sitting, you can still feel the energetic rooting. See if you can feel that here. And if that's difficult, maybe visualize roots growing from all the areas of the body that touch the earth, growing deep through all the layers of the earth, maybe even wrapping around the core. And from that foundation, sit a little taller. Top of the head reaching skyward, and the hands come together at heart center. And with gratitude, with deep gratitude, we close with a single sound of Om. Receive your breath. Bowing head to heart in honor of each other, ourselves, and this practice. Thank you for showing up for yourself, for energetically showing up for each other, and for giving me the honor to support you in your practice. Namaste.